Scott Killaby's body identification is an interesting exercise. It can be done sitting or lying, however you're comfortable. We're looking for the body in this exercise. It's a mindfulness practice. We're not looking for a certain result. Most often when we tune into the body, we will have some experience of Velcro. Our bodies are often quite charged with images. So if we tune into certain areas of the body, there might be judgments about that. When we look at images of ourselves in the past, and as we go through our life looking at images of ourselves, there might be painful associations, there might be joyful associations. And part of what we're doing in this exercise, this mindfulness practice, is to see how it is that we experience our bodies, and we have visual, words, and sensation, and we're looking to see how it is that that actually works. So we're not trying to come to result, it's a mindfulness practice. So to start with your eyes open, just look and see your body. You could put your hands out in front of you and look at the backs of the hands and the fronts of your hands. You could look down, see your legs and your stomach and your arms, and if you put out your feet, you could see them. And as you're looking at that, notice that what you're seeing is shapes and colors, and that part of our experience with the body, part of the reason that this particular configuration of shapes and colors means this is my body is because we've experienced it that way through our lives, and because it works with the sensory perceptions as well. So if you were to put your hands on your legs, then we have the added sensory perception of texture and temperature. If we put the palms of our hands on our stomach, then we still have temperature and texture, and now we have movement. And if you close your eyes and bring your attention to your body, you'll notice that you have some kind of an image. So it could be an image of your body, how it's situated in space, if you have your knees at a 90-degree angle, or if you're lying on the ground or the floor, you'll have a different image. Most often, one of the senses that we have is how our body is positioned in space. And often that won't be a picture, it will be more of a light and dark image. So not everyone has that, so if you don't have that, that's fine. Just to notice if that comes up when you tune into how is it that I'm sitting, or how is my body positioned right now. And without opening your eyes, bring to mind like a mental picture of your body as you were looking at it a moment ago. And notice that we can recall an image of our bodies, and bring to mind an image maybe from a picture from childhood. Bring to mind a childhood picture and look at the details of yourself in that picture. We can look at the expression on the face, body language, what our hair looked like, what we had on for clothes. If it's in front of your child at home, there would be associations with that. And then let your mind kind of skim over some other significant pictures, maybe from your teen years or 20s. Just notice what pops into mind as you're scanning through your adult years. Pay attention as well if thoughts, words are coming up with the image. Sometimes often we'll have a commentary that comes up with images of ourselves. And often there's a sensation that's triggered in the body from looking at an image of ourselves at a particular time. Sometimes we have a felt sense of what it was like to be in that moment that was captured in that image, whether it's a mental image that you didn't have a picture of or a mental image that you did have a picture of. So you're recalling the snapshot, or in later years, maybe a digital photo. Take another minute to observe whatever images and pictures are coming to mind. Along with any associated words and sensations. And as you're looking at those pictures, see if you can either settle on one that seemed to have some resonance or attraction for you, or as a collage where there's a few different pictures. And as you're looking at the image, look at the meaning that it's making. There might be, oh yeah, that was when this happened, or look how young I was there. Whatever comments are there too, let those be there too. But there's this quality of light and dark and colors and shapes. That's how we see images. And then the mind makes meaning of them. The associated events, feelings, words come up along with the picture. And we know by looking at it that that's a picture of us. We can recognize ourselves in pictures. And then look to see, is any one of those images, is that you? Is that your body? Look to see if the images that you've looked at or that you're looking at now, is the image of your body, is that your body? And then focus in on a mental picture of your face. And bring up a mental picture of your face as it is now. And notice that you can see the eyes, the nose, their shapes. You might have some associated thoughts with it. You might look at that face and go, wow, look at that funny looking nose, or gosh, I've got saggy under chin, or whatever thoughts come up. Might be, oh, my eyebrows are just like my granddaughter's, or whatever the images are that come up. Look at the associated words. There might be sensation that comes with that too. You might notice that there's muscular contraction in your forehead or eyebrows. And look at the image and see if the image of your face that you're looking at, if that's your face. And oftentimes we'll go, no, that's just an image of my face. But my face is here, I can feel it. I can feel when I move my eyebrows up and down. There's a sensation, and then my muscles relax. And I can feel my mouth if I move my jaw side to side. So that's here, that's real. That's my face. And that's certainly a way that we experience ourselves, our bodies, is through sensory perception of muscles, bones, nerves. What does it feel like? So we can notice the felt physical experience of the face. And there's really no right or wrong answers in this exercise. We're really looking at what it is that comes up as we're paying attention in this particular way. So notice if you're wondering if you're doing it right, or if anything comes up like that, just to set that aside, because it doesn't really matter what's coming up. We're really just paying attention, curious about how this might work. So one of the ways that we know where our bodies are and what the dimensions of our bodies are, what's going on in our bodies, is by this sensation of touch, of temperature, of muscles, whether they're tight or relaxed. You know right now where your elbows are if you tune into your elbows. There might be a mental image of your arms and your elbows. If your elbows are touching something, or maybe your forearms are touching something, and then you know where your elbows are, they're right just at the top of your forearms. So look to see if the image of your elbows, if that image is your elbows. Or maybe it's the sensation. Is the sensation in your face? Is that your face? So coming back up to the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw, there's the way that the exterior of our body moves into the interior through the breath. And that creates a flow of a sensation. We can notice that we have a sense of where our bodies are located and what the space is on the inside of the body and what the space is on the outside of the body. And it seems like they might be two separate spaces. So let's notice how we're perceiving space. There's sensation on the inside of the space of the body. We could feel the forehead or the jaw. If the jaw is tight, we could relax it or move it side to side. We might feel a sensation on the scalp if we bring our attention to the scalp. And when you bring your attention to those sensations, look to see if the sensations are your head. So this is the way that our brain works. We have images, sensations. We have thoughts that come up about those. We often have neutral thoughts. We often have judging thoughts. Sometimes we have positive thoughts. If we are just finishing a swim in the lake, we'd be noticing the sensation of the water on our skin, and we might have a feeling of fatigue at the end or exhilaration at the end. Mostly if we've been doing something like that, we're really noticing the body. We're noticing those sensations. If we're listening to a beautiful piece of music, we might be aware of our whole body from head to toes and how the body responds to the music. Or we might just be aware of the notes as they're coming in, the texture and sounds of those. So we have this experience with our bodies, with our thoughts, with sensation. And in addition to the raw sensory perception, we have the meaning that we make of it. If we hear a piece of music from our teen years or our early adult years, we may have an association with that makes us smile. We might have an association with that's painful. We're really looking at this Velcro effect as it relates to what's coming in and being noticed in and around the body. So just as we have associations with music, we have associations with images of our body memory in different times. And if we look in this kind of slow way, we can see that we're seeing images. These are mental pictures. Our body actually doesn't exist in that picture. It's an image that we're looking at. And we will have thoughts about our body and thoughts about what was happening there. And those are also words that can be heard or looked at if we're looking at them as though they're in front of us. And tune into the whole of your sensory experience through your body right now. We might notice contraction someplace, we might notice fatigue, we might have energy. There's sensation, temperature. And notice what you're perceiving as touch and temperature and energy, some of it physical and some of it seeming to just be floating in that space in the body. And just look to see, are those sensations the body? If you have a sensation of tightness through the back of the neck and the shoulders, is that sensation the actual back of the neck and shoulders? Maybe there's an image that comes with that. And then bring your attention to the space that your body is occupying and the space all around the outside of your body. Noticing that there's space above and below, behind, to the sides and front. And some of that space is empty, and some of it has furniture, a monitor screen. If you're outside, there might be trees and grass. So some space we perceive as empty and some we perceive as having an object in it. And the space that our body occupies is what we perceive as our body is in that space. And we move through space, we take space in front of the face in through the breath and then bring it back out. So it's a fluid concept. Any images or thoughts that come in about your body in space, look to see if those images or sensations or concepts, if that's your body. And then open your eyes and look around again. Look at your face if you're looking at the monitor screen and you can see it. Look down at your arms, your legs, your stomach. Notice thoughts come in. Sometimes they might be judging thoughts. Sometimes it seems a little bit more just like an observation. And as we finish looking in this way, take a moment to reflect on your experience. If you were able to find the body, there was lots of evidence for the body. There's sensation. There's the way we experience our bodies. There's the physical matter that's here. If we touch our leg, we know that that's our leg that we're touching. And we experience that through sight. If we have our eyes open, we experience it through temperature, texture. And then it can be interesting to tune into that. Notice how it is we experience our bodies as we go through the day.